Hello, Judah. How are you, my friend?
Good, man. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. What are you up to lately?
Just living in Branson, Missouri and acting.
Well,
That's pretty
that's
much it.
that's good to hear
Yeah.
because you see, we're doing this so that we can build some word of mouth around the film project, The Boys of Bedford, in
hmm
which we have uh, reached out to you and you have agreed to act in it. How does that make you feel?
Yes. Dude, it is like acting in something like this has been a dream since I grew up watching like The Longest Day with John Wayne and those kind of things and then kind of like just like Band of Brothers kind of sparked that even more. So like being a part of a project like this has always been a dream. So it's a dream come true, truly.
Well, that is cool to hear. Now, you said
hmm
you grew up watching like The Longest Day and The Band of Brothers. Did you Like if somebody's twisting your arm, would you say you have a favorite World War II movie or show?
But I have to say, like Band of Brothers is the top. Like Band of Brothers and The Office are unbeatable in my eyes. They're just incredible. So I think I would have to say that.
I would have to agree with you there. It
Yeah,
is
yeah.
truly an amazing work of art. Now,
hmm
I met you years ago. I believe it was 2016 when we met, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
And I've seen you take on a bunch of different roles, but one area where I think I've seen you succeed the most, or at least to me, it seems like this is the most natural type of character for you to play, is the everyman. Would you say that's accurate, or do you think I'm way off base there?
No, I think you're right. Definitely.
Why do you think you're so good at playing the everyman?
Oh gosh. Um, I think I think it was acting three at Liberty with Olinda Cooper. I think that changed my perspective on kind of what brings life to a character. And we did and I'm gonna butcher this, but and maybe you can help. Like if you're a flyer,
Oh yeah, the
if you lead with
energies.
your yeah, if you lead with your heart. What were the other ones? I can't remember.
It's been a hot minute for me too, but yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
yeah.
But what was important in that was that like everything I did, I led with my chest, which means that I like lead with my heart. And I kind of realized like that's what I do in normal life is I kind of put my heart out there, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. Um, and I'm a pretty honest person and will let people in and aren't afraid to share who I actually am with people. And I think that like brings that characteristic of just honesty to the everyman and you know I don't think I'm ever gonna play like the romantic lead, you know, the stereotypical romantic lead. I don't think I'm ever gonna play like the hardcore villain. I think I'm always going to be in the middle somewhere just because of the honesty that I bring to a character. It's really, really hard for me to take that away. And I think as like being a professional actor has shown me that I get cast in stuff that is um, honest and sometimes like boyish and like brings joy, and that I'm struggling to get away from that type of character, even when I would like to, but it's just like what I naturally bring. So I think that's what I would say to that.
I got you. Now, what would you say is something that attracts you most to a project like this? Like obviously there's the boyhood dream you were talking about, but now that you're a bit older and you've got several years in this profession as an actor, what would you say attracts you most to a project like this?
I think the seemingly impossible nature of it. And what I mean by that is to play someone who is fictional, who I can make up a backstory, who I can, you know, do whatever I want with this character. Um, would seems to for me is easier because I can do whatever I want. I can take it anywhere I want. I can justify it however I want. But to play someone who actually lived, and to tell their story and to have that pressure on myself to tell it well, um, is daunting. But I think it's that daunting nature of it that attracts me to it most because it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be something that I can just go up and do. It's going to be something that will take a lot of work and a lot of effort, and a lot of honesty and vulnerability, to bring. And not that playing a fictional character doesn't bring those things as well, but like this is I put pressure on myself to um, bring like the humanity that this man had, like for his family, for the people who knew him, and for like the sacrifice, the ultimate sacrifice that a lot of his friends gave. I want to bring the humanity to him of someone who came back and had that survivor's guilt. um, and that might be too much of a spoiler for the for the production,
You're
but
good.
um, yeah, I want to bring his humanity, and that is a daunting task, but I think it's the thing that makes me most excited about it.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
So, what are you currently working on now the most? Because you're a professional, you got out of college, you went right for it. So, what have you been working? Where have you been working these past few years?
Yeah. Yeah, this will be my third year in Branson, Missouri, working for Sight and Sound Theaters. So they have a location in Lancaster, which is where they started, and then they have a location here in Branson. So we just opened 2 or 3 weeks ago, Queen Esther. So that's been, yeah, we've been going at it.
Now, for someone like you, you and me studied stage acting together, but I know that you liked even back in college to dabble in the film. You did some of those short
Mm,
films, and I think you did some films even out of college. I could be wrong,
mm.
but you like to step into both worlds, so to speak, because for those who are not in the know, film acting and stage acting are quite different. So to you, what would you say is like your favorite thing about the stage work, and what would you say is your favorite thing about the film side?
Yeah. Um, I I think I love that both are honest and can be honest and subtle, but in very different ways. And I literally just did this short little project with a friend, where we just shot this like stupid documentary type thing. And I was watching, I was like, I have been on the stage and not in front of the camera for a long time. Because like you lose that subtlety very easily for the camera. And it's something that like when you watch someone on film and they make it easy, it's like, oh, that's so easy. I could do that so easily. But it takes so much. It is so difficult to portray, to not over portray your emotions, what you're thinking on camera, and to just be honest, and just show what you want to show. Um, and so that's yeah, that's been really a big change for me because I feel like I've always been more of a subtle actor, but then coming here to Sight and Sound, I mean, we're performing to a 2,000 person audience, so it's you can't be subtle like a camera's right here, like you can't, so you have to be bigger, and I hate that note, to be bigger, Judah, be bigger. But you have to like take that and be like, okay, what action can I put to this instead of just be bigger? So yeah, I think the answer to both is the honesty. But I love just how it's portrayed in different formats, basically.
When it comes to your craft and when it comes to the art of acting, right now I know you're at Sight and Sound. You guys, you put on these big, massive biblical epics. Me and my family, we got to see one up at Lancaster. It was amazing.
Mm,
It was absolutely great. But you've also done a lot of work that isn't strictly, just an adaptation of a Bible story. It's not even technically probably Christian. I mean, I remember I saw you play a con man once very well and Wait Until Dark. So you'll do a script that you think is good, but when it comes to acting, how does God inspire your work, would you say?
Yeah, like you said, that I will do everything that is a good script. And I think that for one, I think a good script has morals. And I definitely have morals as an actor, and there are things that I will not do as an actor. And I think that um, that's something that the Lord influences within me. Of there are just certain things that I won't do on camera or on stage. Um, but then even just like bringing life to a character, um, I think that that goes back to the Lord in every sense of the way, because he brought life to every person here. So he brought life to this person that I'm about to play. So I think that prayer goes into it a lot, because even something like this where I'm playing a real person, um, that could be so overwhelming, and maybe so overwhelming if I don't go into it with prayer and asking the Lord how to play this person. And for him to give me ways, insight into this person who I have never met and I will never meet. Like how do you do that without some help from the Lord and Google and other people that knew him? Um, so yeah, I think just bringing humanity to a person, I don't think that I can do it without seeking who brought humanity to this world in the first place.
In your illustrious career, what do you think has been the
Oh,
most challenging or top three challenging roles you've ever had?
mm. Um, I think that my first role at Liberty, which is where we met,
Over the river.
with Over the River and Through the Woods, man. Yeah, for like those of you like you don't know, it was a production at the Tower Theater. And when I go back to the Tower Theater now, after being in Sight and Sound for so long, it seems so small. But at that point, it seemed really a big theater. And we did this production without mics, which usually I think were we the only. I don't remember if we were the
As
only
far as
one, the
I
first
know,
one.
while we
Okay,
were there, you were the only ones who did a Tower Theater production without mics. Because even in Bedford
okay,
Boys, we used mics. I remember that.
right, yeah. So that was really, really difficult. And like because it felt like we were yelling the whole time, and at first it honestly probably sounded like we were just yelling, but to bring subtlety uh without mics and to have to project with subtlety was really a huge challenge. And I honestly credit our director Chris Nelson for bringing that out in us, and yeah, bringing that subtlety without mics. And then, man, Shakespeare is freaking hard. And so I probably the other one was Love's Labor's Lost, which I was in with you as well. That was hard. I just have pictures in my brain of us in the airport learning lines because we had what, like 2 weeks or something to be
We had
off
a week.
book.
We had a
A week,
week
great,
because
dude.
we had that mission strip. And then as soon as we got back, we had 1 week to learn.
Yeah. So like we were in the airport waiting to get on our flight, trying to memorize lines, not succeeding at all because we were in an airport on our way to a mission trip. We had other things on our mind. So we came back, and then I remember me, you, and Joel, at least, and I think everyone else, but we were just pace those hallways, just learning our lines. People just thinking we're stupid and saying like this this English crap. They're like, what are they talking about? But yeah, we had like a week to get off book, and that was one of the most challenging processes. But I think I think when something like that is such a challenge, either it divides the cast or it brings everyone together for like a great show. And I think it brought everyone together because we were all leaning at each other because we were all struggling with this material. But I think it just made for an even better show.
what are you hoping to get out of this particular process with this short film that maybe you wouldn't expect to get from a different one?
Mm. Um, yeah, when you and Joel first came to me, I think the first thing the first thing that attracted me to it was that it was my two friends trying to do something special and trying to do something that meant a lot to you. Um, and so I think that's the thing, like that's the number one thing that I want to get out of this is helping friends succeed and helping you guys do something that you love. Um, and like, I mean, right when y'all told me, I was in because of that reason. And it doesn't matter. It really didn't matter. And I think I told y'all, like, it doesn't matter the money side of it. It doesn't matter any of that. Like, it didn't even matter if the script was good or not. And I think it is good. But it was two of my friends just trying to do something that they were really passionate about. And how could I not want to be a part of that? So